what's up? It's Monday, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Back to the Window with Scott and Scott. I'm your host, Scott Steehn, lead handicapper at winnersandwhiners.com.
And I'm your co-host, Scott Reichel, senior handicapper over winnersandwhiners.com.
And together, we do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Try to guide everybody, ourselves included, in that journey to head back to the window, cash those winning tickets. Sorry we're late. This was all on me. I had a little, if you guys watched the last show, I had a little dog emergency. He's had a case of the doggy trots, and he's been very subtle about letting me know when. Otherwise, I've got to clean up on aisle 2 in the house. So he gave me right at the end of the show, he just kind of looked at me, and I knew. And sure enough, so anyway, it's good to be here. Sorry for being late. It's a pleasure, as always, to be with you guys. We'd appreciate it if you'd take a minute and smash that like button right now while nothing's going on before we get rolling. Just hammer that like button. We appreciate it. Get subscribed to our YouTube channel. More importantly, get subscribed to the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel, because 1 week from today, this is for real this time. This is not a drill, Scott. This is not a drill. This is actually happening. We will be available exclusively on the Max Wagers Network. Yeah, a little late on the "This is not a drill" music, but anyway.
I know how hard you worked on trying to find the right sound effect to play this time.
I didn't have it ready to go. I didn't have that planned out. If only I would have. So I might do that all week. So, hey, how'd your weekend go, man?
Overall, went really well for me. As for YouTube, I ended up hitting, I believe, 2 out of the 3 plays of the day. However, ended up losing in NASCAR, but yeah, it didn't exactly go too well on the track. But for hockey, ended up going 2-0 over the weekend. On top of that, I hit a very nice Mika Zibanejad first goal score at 14-1.
Oh, nice.
So that definitely helped out my Sunday. And overall, yeah, pretty good. How's yours?
Not bad. Not bad. We were didn't quite break even. It was a brutal day as the Royals let us down by playing good baseball on Saturday against the fucking Boobage, man. Of course, then the next day after, the day after, cashed big time yesterday as the Royals looked exactly like they'd looked for the previous week, except for Saturday night, non-competitive yesterday with the Astros. So overall, but we did win our play of the day yesterday. We did hit the Astros. We'd been a little chilly all week long, so that was, or hit the Cardinals rather. Had to go to extras to get there in a game they were behind for most of the time, but by God, it's the Cardinals, baby. Never count them out. So it's good to be here, guys. It's Brandon Kubas in the house. Big X is here. Unknown entity. THC is Rizzes. Says we got a little bit of a small baseball card tonight. Yeah, we do, brother. We do indeed. Red Sox Angels over 9. You got your Thor and
Waka Waka.
You got Michael Waka Waka, who's been pitching arguably his best season in a long time, if not ever. So, I don't know. You got the over there, buddy?
Yeah. I believe we might be revisiting one of these games in the future, but yeah, I definitely think that you should see some runs there. Waka's been good, so we'll see how that translates. On the bright side, the Angels are they're on a bit of a losing streak.
A little bit.
And I believe you asked me a week or 2 ago if we were wrong about the Angels. I'll never underestimate the stupidity of Joe Madden. So, no. And now they're below 500.
Yep.
And Trout hasn't gotten a hit in about a month and a half.
Absolutely. Yes, like so the D-backs over the Reds, or D-backs Reds over 10. I got sucked into that fucking over yesterday. Scored 5 runs in the first inning. I had 9.5. Couldn't get home.
By the way, question, by the way. Since there's already been a manager fired, Joe Girardi won the first manager fired sweepstakes.
Yep.
How badly do the Angels need to play in the next couple of weeks or so before they actually consider moving on from Joe Madden? Because this is a full-on implosion.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Because they've lost 11 straight, so I got to bring it up.
Winners and Whiners.
That's you.
Fuck that guy. I wanted to see where they were right now. So they're one under.
But they're 1 under after being 10 over.
No, I understand. I'm
telling the audience.
So the All-Star break is roughly 6 weeks from now.
give or take.
That's 35, 36 games, something like that. If they're 10 under,
Yeah.
He's done. Maybe 7 or 8 under. So they're going to have to play a little worse. They're going to have to... now, if this losing streak gets ridiculous, like...
Define ridiculous, 15?
I was going to say over 15, yeah. Then I think you might have to reconsider.
I don't think it's going to get to that point. I think they'll win one. They should have won yesterday. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But losing 11 in a row with that much talent. Now, I know that we didn't like the Angels anyway because they have a high win total every year. They underachieve every year because their pitching is never any good. And shockingly, they've given up a bunch of runs.
Yeah.
But you still have Trout. You still have Ohtani. Rendon's been healthy for the most part. I know Ward just went on the IL. But they've been relatively healthy. And they're still imploding.
Yeah.
So you got to blame it on somebody, right?
Pitching. The pitching has been awful.
But I'm saying for the front office, you're going to blame it on the manager.
Yeah. You have to.
That's what happened to Girardi.
Somebody's head's got to roll, man.
And I know the Phillies are undefeated with the new manager. And Girardi, I think, is a mediocre manager at best. I'm not going to blame him for the bullpen being terrible.
No.
But, of course, you're going to blame him. So I expect Madden to probably get fired at some point during this year, during the offseason.
Man, Matheny looks so good.
Yeah.
Super Sly is in the house. What's up? Brandon Kubas says he's feeling the Mets Padres over.
Well, the Mets score a fair amount of runs.
You got Snell going. Are you a Snell believer?
No, not this year. Pretty much ever since the World Series, no. But Carrasco's been good. So I feel like if I was going to end up taking the over, it is at 7.5. So I understand where you're coming from. I like the Mets team total more because the Mets offensively have been really good. Carrasco's had moments. I cannot say that Snell's even had moments. He just has not been very good. So I'll go with the Mets team total over.
Give me a 3.
Because you also
can you give me a 3.5 for 125 or less?
Yeah, total 7.5, and the Padres are technically favored at -115. So I think you can make an argument there. But they have a guaranteed 9 at-bats. They're on the road.
Mm-hmm.
THC is talking about how the Mets don't hit lefties that well. That's fair. But I don't like the Padres bullpen either. Snell's not an innings eater by any means. 3.5 for the Mets offense, that seems a little low to me. I'll go with the over there.
Mets actually score more runs against lefties than they do against righties. They average 5.4 runs against lefties, hit 271. So that surprised me too because anecdotally, I would have agreed with THC on that one.
I thought the Mets were decent against lefties,
yeah.
But I mean, I thought I was misremembering something. But
nope. They average 5.1 overall, 5.4 against lefties.
Yeah, they're one of the better teams against lefties, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought they were. But
they're no White Sox from 2 years ago, but still.
No, White Sox 2 years ago is an all-time 1927 Yankees team right there.
Really is. Brandon says it's weird, but I worked with Snell's cousin. Can you get tickets? That's always my question. Can you get tickets?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
By the way, JC's asking if either of us had a Logano. I know we didn't. Did Rye?
No.
I thought Rye might have had a Logano.
I don't think so. I'll double check. It was a pretty brutal day. I know Chris had
he had Bush, who came in second.
Kyle Busch, and probably with no caution, I think he wins that, don't you?
I think you could make an argument. Yeah. I know I ended up losing everything. My drivers weren't even that bad.
No, I had Suarez top 10, and he was in the top 10 for most of the day, and then something happened to him. I was watching like 3 different things, so I didn't have
something happened to Suarez. I can't believe
I didn't have the sound on, but he was running. I think he was running 6th or 7th, and then all of a sudden, the next time I look up, he's not on the board anymore. So
all I know is I had Chastain, who got into a bit of beef there with Chase Elliott and Hamlin. That was a circus. I had Bell, and I had Austin Dillon. And Bell and Chastain finished top 10, and Dillon finished 15th, I believe. So my drivers weren't that bad. I just didn't cash anything.
Right. Yep. I was kind of the same way. So
I don't know. I thought Rye had Logano.
No, Rye had Blaney, Harvick, and Suarez. Just like
okay.
So.
All right. Then never mind.
THC says they've hit him for the past month. Okay. Fair enough.
For me.
Fair enough.
But 3.5 for a team that's been good against lefties for the last month, and Snell has also not been a very good lefty.
No.
I'll take my chances.
And Snell doesn't go long, as Jim pointed out on the last show. He don't give you any length.
No.
So.
And the Padres bullpen is hit or miss.
Very good. That's funny.
Thank you.
That's funnier than you think. So.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to check out all the great content at the Max Wagers Network. Have I talked about that yet, Scott?
I believe you did. You
Okay.
played the sound effect.
I'm telling you, the shows are running together for me. So I know I haven't mentioned the Caesars promo. So make sure you check out the great deal that we have with the Caesars Sportsbook. It is $1,100 first bet insurance, and that is exactly what it sounds like. Make your first play, your best play, kids. If you've got a lock tonight, you want to fade the Royals. Hell, who could argue with you? The time to load up. Well, Caesars got your back up to $1,100. You make that bet and win it. Well, you just won your $1,100 bet. Congratulations. If you lose it, Caesar says, hey, man, you know what? We all thought the Royals were going to suck. We'll make it good to you. And they will reimburse you up to $1,100. You must use the code ATSWINS Caesar. That's ATSWINSCZR. That code is available in the description of today's video, as well as the link that will take you right there. So, with that being said, Scott, let's take a look. Let's see what happened yesterday. Let's see what happened the day before yesterday. Let's see what happened Friday night. It's a lot to catch up on.
I only did yesterday, but, there you go.
All right, very good. Be that as it may, it is the Monday edition. It is time, once again, to check in and see who took it in the shorts, who took it to the bank, who's the winners, who's the whiners, who's getting out their flip phone and calling the cops. All right, very good. Well, we're going to get it rolling. I'm going to guess, Scott, we're going to talk about the major leagues. And if you had the Braves -1.5 over the Rockies, that was a hell of a game because they led 8-4, entering the bottom of the 8th. Colorado scored 2 in the 8th, and the dreaded 1 in the 9th for no apparent reason except to beat your run line. Atlanta wins it 8-7. Congratulations, you had the Braves. They were the much better team. They only won by 1, so you're left just calling the cops.
And if you had the Cubs +1.5 on Sunday Night Baseball against the Cardinals, they led 3-2 after 8 innings. That Cubs bullpen, not great. St. Louis tied the game in the 9th, and Chicago lost 5-3 in extra innings. Rip up your +1.5.
Kind of brutal. We were on the other side of that. I was impressed with Cabrera. I thought Cabrera looked really good when he go the last 4 innings, right?
Yeah, he was solid.
Yeah, very, very good. Kind of an unusual role. You don't see that. You see those pitchers. I mean, you see those managers start to get smart, Scott. They start pulling pitchers that are doing well just because the new inning's starting. I like the fact that he was pitching well, and they kept bringing him back out there. And they said, well, can you fucking hit him this time? They went, no, we can't. Well, you know what? We're going to bring him back for another inning. So kudos indeed on the management of Cabrera in that game. But finally, if you had the Angels on the money line up against those Phillies, they led 6-2 in the 8th inning. Oh,
Harper.
Angels just finding new and interesting ways to lose. Philly hits the game-tying grand slam. It's Bryce Harper, everybody. But they took the lead. This is it. We're getting our first win in 11 games. No, they are not, because the Phillies put a couple guys on, and then with 2 outs, 2 strikes, there she goes, Scott. That's a 3-run homer. That's a walk-off. That's a run line cover. And, of course, it's a money line victory. If you had the Angels on the money line, oh, you almost had it. But you got to call the cops.
I mean, if you were betting the Angels yesterday, I respect the courage. But would you ever back a team on a 10-game losing streak?
I took them on Clar.
You did?
It was one of my picks on Clar. I thought they'd get off the schneid on Saturday.
I'm assuming you lost.
Good call, Scott.
Thank you. They don't call him the best color commentator in the business for
That's
nothing.
right, folks.
Yeah.
Well, there was some good news. These are the ones you want to be on the right side of. This is where you want to hear your name called. This is everybody's favorite segment because you had those nice, easy wins. You're out there with your lazy ass sitting in the rocket chair.
By the way, it's okay that you lost 1 game on Clark because I swept Clark. So it worked itself out in the end.
I did too. I hit both. I had both my Clar picks. That was just one. I give like 3 or 4 more at the end of the show.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
I wasn't where he gave extras. But anyway, if you had the basketball game under, you had the Celtics and Warriors game 2 under 213.5. 3 quarters had less than 50 points, and the game landed 195.
I saw that one a little different. If you had Louisville on the money line against the Wolverines,
Baseball.
No problem at all. The Cardinals led 7-0 after 2 innings. They didn't stop there, my young friend. They poured it on, scored 13 more. They ended up giving 1 to Michigan, but that was it. They win at 20-1. Congratulations, Louisville Cardinals.
The beauty of that, by the way, is they're playing again right now, and I believe Louisville is like minus 130. They scored 7 runs in the first inning, so they're up 7-3 right now. We'll see what happens there. But if you had the over 7 in the White Sox and Rays game, you had 6 runs in the first 2 innings, and the game landed 11.
All right. we definitely have to talk about that. We had a game that I made the case for. It could have landed on.
Could have been in every single segment imaginable.
It really could have been in every segment. It could have been in Call the Cops. Could have been in the rocking chair. What? How is that possible? Well,
even odds makers were drunk, by the way.
Odds makers were drunk. Fuck, they don't get a lot drunker than that, dude.
Yeah,
they don't get a lot drunker. So, what are you guys talking about? Well, some of you probably know. For the rest of you, you're about to find out. It's time to reveal on Monday who didn't get as mad, but my God, I'm disappointed. So Scott, was it Missouri State?
Yeah.
That was Southeast Missouri.
It was Missouri State.
The Missouri State
Bears.
Yes, the Bears. Pretty good team. Pretty good baseball team. And man, they showed it yesterday down there in Stillwater, playing in the Oklahoma Regional, playing the Stillwater Regional. Took a 12-0 lead against the home team, Scott. 12-0.
Elimination game, by the way.
Elimination game. That's correct. So Oklahoma State, just tear up your tickets. You're not going to the College World Series. Sorry, guys. It's 12-zip. It's over. Time to fucking reel them all in. Well, then they played the 4th inning, Scott, and they played the 5th, and they went on from there. And over the next 6 innings, the Cowboys rallied a bit. In fact, they outscored the Bears 29-3. You were waiting on it, weren't you? You were waiting on it.
I was.
20.
It was rough.
20.
It was very rough.
9-3. They lose 29-15. So this could have been a rocking chair over. What was the total? 12.5.
Whatever it was, it should have been tripled.
Right.
They set the all-time record for most runs in a college baseball tournament game.
They missed I want everybody to just take a moment. They missed a college total by over 30 runs.
Yep, pretty much.
You know, when you double up, if you've 8.5 as your number and the game ends, 10-7 and you doubled up, you're like, fuck, that's impressive. That's a lot of runs. But 44, no, sorry. Or as they call it there in southern Missouri and Oklahoma, farty far. But sorry, Bears. That's brutal. That's an all-timer right there. Tim got that game to our attention, and I know you'd seen it as well, and I saw it shortly after that. But
I had to keep an eye on it because Oklahoma State was a team that I've been betting overs with, and I was just keeping an eye on it. And I'm like, they're down 12-0, like at home, and then you look back and they're up like 17-12, and they end up winning the game by 14 runs.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State had 4 pitchers. One guy came in relief, 6 2/3, 16 strikeouts off the bench. He threw 126 pitches.
Jesus.
Okay, all right.
Although if you strike out 16, you're going to throw a shit ton of pitches.
Yeah, Missouri State had only 6 pitchers, I believe, but
okay.
Yeah, the final 3 had ERAs above 10. So it was not a fun time for the back end of the bullpen. But if you go from up 12-0 to down 29-15,
yeah,
you should have gone home even if it wasn't an elimination game. Just go home.
Yeah, that's an elimination game, right? What do you think? So, all those times when you're sitting in the dugout and your coach is, you're all right, come on, boys. 12-0. We're all right. Come on. You get a little bingo. Just
somebody had
the
Missouri
line moving.
State plus the 3.5, 4.5.
Sure. Yeah.
That's rough.
Oh fuck. Yeah, you think?
You're up 12. You're up 12 runs.
You're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
You're not just checking your wish list on Amazon. You're clicking shit. You're ordering
Yeah.
shit because you're up almost 17 runs there with your total. So
The
or with
crazy
your
part,
bet.
by the way, is Oklahoma State played again later that night against Arkansas, and they won. So
Yeah.
they're playing again tonight. You think I'm going to take the under with them in Arkansas?
Can't do it.
They've played twice in the last 2 days. Each game's had at least 24 runs. Yeah, I'm taking the over tonight.
It'd be the second year of disappointment in a row for the Arkansas Razorbacks, by the way.
It would be, but truth is, I feel like even though I tweeted about it, even if you like hockey, and I have a play that I own hockey, I got to keep an eye on this Oklahoma State-Arkansas game, don't I?
Sure. Absolutely.
I mean, there might be 30 runs. I'm going to have to watch it.
That's an auto over. I got to see what the total is. I bet if Tim's listening, I bet he knows.
I got to assume it's probably 15.
Yep. Hey, speaking of hockey.
Give or take. But
Speaking of hockey, Scott, let's find out. Was it Mike Smith? Was it Mike Smith on Saturday night? No, it was not. Let's find out who this is, Scott. It's a hockey edition of the guy that made the bettors very happy because they thought something was going to happen, and then something happened, and then the thing they thought was going to happen didn't happen. What am I talking about? Well, you're going to find out on today's Gambling Hero of the Day. Such a nice total.
The total tonight in the Oklahoma State game is 17.5.
I was just going to say 17.
Yeah. I'm not taking the under, but it's 17.5. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be betting that at home. That might be must-watch TV.
What the fuck you have to pitch? What do you have?
That's a great question.
You played two yesterday.
That's probably why the guy threw 126 pitches out of the bullpen yesterday.
Jimmy, you own this one, buddy. You own this one. You know, if he had 16 strikeouts, he's probably got some stuff where you would be considered for the major leagues. Man, that kid better be all right after letting him fucking throw 126
I was going to say, his arm might have fallen off because the game against Arkansas that night also went to extra innings. So, yeah, I don't know who they have in the pen.
Yeezy. Jesus. All right. So, Scott, you want to talk a little hockey here?
Well, you kind of have to because we actually had a very competitive game where we avoided a sweep. Can you believe that? We had a series where each team actually won a game because you had the Lightning playing yesterday. I had Shesterkin over in saves at 30.5. He went over in the first 2 periods, so that was nice. But if you had the Lightning in regulation, you were sweating it out. They trailed going into the 3rd period. It was a tie game. It looked like it was guaranteed to go to overtime. And then Tampa Bay forward, a Palat, ended up scoring the game-winning goal with 52 seconds left. The Lightning were minus 105 to cash or to win in regulation, and you ended up pulling out a last-minute winner.
Outstanding. Are you surprised that the Rangers are still up at 2-1? Are you surprised it's 2-1 Rangers right now?
No, because they have the longest franchise home winning streak. This is the story of the Rangers the entire playoffs. They lose every game on the road, they win every game at home, and they win a road game 7. That's it. So am I shocked? No. Tampa Bay did what Tampa Bay was supposed to do, come out in a must-win game and outshoot the Rangers. Now, once again, the Rangers' power play is ridiculous because the Rangers at even strength did nothing yesterday. The power play was unbelievable. But Tampa Bay outshot them by, 20-something shots?
Yeah.
I mean, the Rangers have given up the most shots per game of any team in the playoffs, and that's why I took the over in saves. But they gave up roughly 50 shots.
It's amazing.
Like, the Rangers are going to be coasting dangerous or living dangerously when you voluntarily get yourself outshot by 10, 15 shots every game that you play. So I wasn't shocked. I was shocked the Rangers were actually winning going to the 3rd period because I thought the Lightning were the much better team. But the Lightning ended up pulling it out. Was I shocked? No. But Igor almost single-handedly stole them a game. Were you surprised?
It's really been all about Igor is keeping him in there. You're talking about
and the power play.
They're just getting pummeled, and their power play has been good. Somebody wanted to know how many pitches they threw, and I'm going to see if I can.
I'm going to pull up the game with the Arkansas one at night.
302 is what.
Oh God.
Is what Southwest Missouri. I'm old. Missouri State, and then Oklahoma State. Oh, they threw a mere 204.
They threw 227 pitches in the late game against Arkansas. They had 4 pitchers in that one. The starter, 6 1/3, 11 hits, 5 runs, 117 pitches.
Jesus.
You got to do something. You got to try. So we'll see who the hell's left to pitch in this game, but
yeah,
it's going to be an interesting matchup.
506 total pitches in that game.
Yeah.
Okay. Very solid. Very solid. Yep. 17-5 should be the first 5 line. That's funny, Magellan, and it's not altogether inaccurate. I don't know where the stops come from as far as this pitching staff goes.
I don't know what the odds makers are supposed to do. You put a baseball total at 17.5.
Right. What are you going to do?
Where are you supposed to put this thing?
Brandon Kubas, laying out the path to alcohol poisoning, said, there had to be somebody sitting there taking a shot every run.
Mm-hmm. The person's probably dead.
I was going to say, I doubt if they did it for every run. They did not make it to the end of that. Draymond, the only non-star treated like a star. Imagine if Smart had his shoe on Curry's head, no tech. Unlevel playing field, something to do with that final. Lady Karma has her eye on Draymond.
See, the mistake that Draymond made long ago was that he hit somebody in the nuts that had bigger star treatment than he had. He hit LeBron, and that's why he got suspended. He does that to anybody else, he's going to play. But Steve Javie talked about it during the game. He basically said if Draymond or somebody on Golden State has a technical, it takes a lot to get him the second technical. That's kind of what he said. Are you shocked by it? Of course not. Because the NBA knows that stars are the people that actually bring fans into the actual TV channel for the actual viewing experience. Now, I don't like Draymond at all, but at the end of the day, I recognize his importance to the team. And I can understand your point. He's a very energetic guy who is dirty at times, and he gets some special treatment that other players don't.
Yeah, I think Andrew brings out a great point. He gets star treatment, but he ain't a star.
What do you think about Draymond? Because he has not been the same player since he had the back issue. He used to actually be a very solid player with the 3-point shooting, and he had the Game 7 against Cleveland. They lost, but he was unbelievable. But you go through the offensive numbers in the last couple of years, if he's even mediocre defensively, he's a total lost cause. He gives you nothing offensively.
No, he's become a strict D guy, and
you could say he's a passer. I mean, he's got a free lane to the rim. How hard is it to throw a lob to a 7-foot guy?
Okay.
I mean, come on.
All right, yeah, that was I think the majority of players in the NBA get the T there.
I think most do. There was a play I had in the Dallas series. I had Draymond under in points, and I said Draymond should have been ejected because he got a tech earlier, and then he was cursing with Finney-Smith, and they called the tech on Finney-Smith and not on Draymond. And I'm like, how are you going to have an argument between two guys and call it on one person? But I don't know.
I hate to use the word fix.
Now, Calvin, I'm not saying that Draymond is not valuable to his team. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just making a statement that if Draymond was in any other situation that didn't revolve around two of the best shooters of all time and a Kerr system which is very focused on sharing the basketball, Draymond would not fit on the majority of teams in the NBA.
Yes, I agree with that.
So that's my point. I think he's in a great situation.
His skill set isn't universally transferable.
No.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, Calvin. They definitely played very poorly without Draymond. And I don't know.
I'm not saying that he's a scrub. I recognize his value to his team. I'm just saying that a lot of his skills are, I'd say, set up to suit this offense. That's my point.
Okay.
I don't think he would do much adjusting on another team. That's my point.
So, hockey game tonight.
I have a play on it.
What do you got?
I got the sweep.
I don't see how you call it any other way. I really don't. If you bet it wrong and Edmonton jumps up and bites you, you tip your cap and go, you know what? I think I had the best of it. I got it in good. So
JC Draymond played at Michigan State.
Is it Mike Smith? Is it the Avs playing suddenly good defense? Is it the relentless Avs pressure? All of the above. What are you looking at here in this game?
I'm just going to say yes.
Okay.
The way that I see it is Smith was actually very good in Game 3. The issue is he had a classic Mike Smith game where he had a bunch of crazy saves. He's jumping around. He's got 40 saves, and yet he lets up like 2 or 3 soft goals. And you're not exactly sure if he had a good game or a bad game because the goals that he allowed were soft, but the shots he saved were difficult. So I guess it balances itself out.
Right.
But even with Mike Smith being decent in net, what's he supposed to do? They're being outshot by 15 every game. You go down the line of talent for Edmonton. It's very top-heavy. Draisaitl's clearly hurt. He can't move if you watch him play. He's moving at about 50% speed because his ankle or his foot's bothering him. McDavid, of course, is great, but Colorado's putting everybody on him. And besides that, Evander Kane for this game, he injured Kadri in Game 3. He got suspended. And he's been their double-digit goal-scoring machine. So with Kane being out, and with Draisaitl being well below 100%, you have McDavid and who? Zach Hyman?
That's it.
Like, you don't have many weapons, and Colorado has a very deep supporting cast. You look at McKinnon, who's great. Rantanen's very good. You have Nikushkin, who's been very good as well. Kadri was good. Of course, he got injured now, but the point is they have weapons. And Makar on defense. So Colorado has the deeper overall team, the better goalie, the better defense, and I don't know what Edmonton has. They have McDavid. But if you're going to get outshot by 15 every game, Colorado's had at least 40 shots in each of the first 3 games. Even if Mike Smith was an above-average goalie, he'd give up a couple. I mean, you're just giving up too much volume that you're going to let a couple go past, and Edmonton doesn't have any answers. Truth is, they're just not a very good hockey team. Do you think they're a good hockey team?
No, they're so top heavy. I mean, it's hard to say.
Thank you, Super Sly and Landeskog. Thank you.
It's hard to say a team in the conference finals isn't a good hockey team.
It's like watching the Mavericks. They pulled off some runs there. They had a nice win against Calgary where they pulled off an upset because Calgary, kind of like Phoenix, just fell apart. And then they went up against the Warriors. They went up against Colorado. And you just realize we're a bit in over our skis. And it seems like Edmonton got through barely against the Kings, and the Kings weren't a great hockey team. But I think the Flames just imploded. And Markstrom was awful. And now Colorado has the better supporting cast and the better overall team. And it's really like that Maverick series against Golden State. You look up and you just realize it's not meant to be.
So,
because Luka and McDavid, you can make some generational talent comparisons to, but the supporting cast isn't very good.
But couldn't you compare the 2 runs of the Oilers and the Rangers, where the Rangers had to come back? They have to come back from 3-1 twice?
No, they came back from 3-1 down once and came back from 3-2 down against Carolina.
Okay. So, could you kind of argue that there's some parallels there yet?
I think Igor is just on another level, to be honest. Like, I can't. The thing about hockey, which is why the comparison doesn't work perfectly, is that you don't have one guy who can really save you if you're getting killed out there.
Right.
Igor's the ultimate equalizer. If the Oilers had Igor, maybe they could make a run at it. But with Smith not being able to bail you out all the time when you're being outplayed, you're just screwed. And that's what we've seen.
Yep, agreed. Thanks for the kind word, Andrew. We appreciate it. We try to have a little fun, but we try to lay out some knowledge as well, and sometimes give you guys a glimpse. That's kind of the thing about this long form, is everybody kind of gets a glimpse behind the process that we go through when we're talking about games and the things that we're looking at. So
I make up rants as I go.
You make up rants as you go. Yeah, we've never, other than the segments, we've never scripted anything.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. People are going, yeah, really hard to believe you guys don't practice this.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Okay, so we talked about.
So we're both on Colorado, right?
Yeah, gotta be. I'm playing the puck line. All these games they've covered the puck line, whether it's had to be a late one or not. They've gotten there. So.
Or regulation, whatever you want to play.
Puck line, you didn't. I think plus 185. What is it? Or plus 165? I know I saw it with Chris. What's reg? Do you have it?
Let me check. If I had to guess, I would say probably around 120.
Okay.
If I had to guess, but
Yeah, fucking give me the puck line. Beat Mike Smith and then fucking next season.
I wouldn't mind the Edmonton team total under either. Francouz's actually been pretty good, but once again, with Kane being out and with Draisaitl being extremely injured, they don't have many weapons. Like, unless McDavid goes nuts and Colorado's basically double teaming him every time that he has the puck, what other options does Edmonton have? You have Nugent Hopkins, who I never really liked, and they don't have any other guys. Do you think they have any other guys? Like, I know McLeod had the wrist shot at the end of...
You keep asking me the same question, like, in different ways. And
I am.
Every time the answer is the same. No, they have 2.5 players, and they're down to what, 1 3/4 now, or
yeah, pretty much
wherever Draisaitl is. So, thanks, Andrew. I appreciate the kind words. Talk about intellectual firepower with me and you and Chris, buddy. I don't know about all that, but are you watching the Jeopardy run? Do you watch Jeopardy?
No.
I tell you about this big guy from Philly. He was a rideshare driver, and he had to quit his job to be on the show. And
how's he doing?
He's having a hell of a run. He's won like 15, 16 in a row,
nice.
getting close to $300,000. Dude, he was so thrilled. Like the first day, he made like 25,000 or whatever. He was like almost in fucking tears over winning once. So it's cooler than shit. He's like kind of not just somebody like super smart, but he gets some, and he's really good at literature. He's great at TV. He's great at movies, and he'll get a category that he fucking runs every week. And then he has been lucky a couple times in Final Jeopardy. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. Anyway,
cool.
Avs over 3.5, says Bronco Devil. Yeah, I like that better than the full game over.
I agree. I just don't think Edmonton's going to contribute much. So I'm with you on pretty much everything Avalanche tonight.
Yeah.
If Edmonton comes up and bites you, it's probably because Francouz is going to have a bad game in net. But in reality, Colorado's better at basically everything.
What do you call him? Francouz?
It's Francouz.
It's not Francouz?
No, I looked it up. It's Francouz.
You looked it up where?
I looked up a pronunciation of it on Google. It's Francouz.
The Colorado guys called him Francouz.
Yeah, I thought it was Francouz, but then I realized I just completely butchered the pronunciation.
But I'm talking about the local guys.
I'm telling you, the local guy's wrong because it's Francouz.
I find that hard to believe. Huh?
I'm telling you, it's Francouz. That's why I made the adjustment. I went through the film. I looked it up.
Did you look it up on YouTube? Did you see some calls?
I really did look it up. It's Francouz.
But where did you Google it? I mean, did you saw some video and stuff where they called him Francouz?
Yeah, I found some videos, some pronunciation on some hockey websites. Like I'm telling you, I actually did the research.
That is not nearly as much fun as Francouz.
Oh, you can call him Francouz.
I don't care.
You can if you want.
I'm not gonna argue with you about a pronunciation that you've gone to the trouble to look up.
Oh, I just wanted to learn it.
I just with the guys when I did radio in Colorado and they called him Francouz, I assumed the local guys probably had it right, but there you go. What thought it was Koozie? Oh, I don't know. What does that mean?
He thought that it was pronounced Francuzzi.
Oh, Francuzzi. Nice. Yeah, JC Stone he says you're doing the deep dive on the name pronunciation. Very good. Yeah,
thank you.
Outstanding. Oh, my son went to the soccer game yesterday.
Nice.
The thrilling 0-0 against Uruguay.
I was joking. They did not win.
They did not.
Nothing happened.
They did not win. No. So,
should have went to the Argentina Estonia game. You got to see Messi score 5 goals at an exhibition game.
Oh, was that at Sporting Park?
It was not.
That probably would have been a tough get then. I'm assuming it was somewhere in Estonia.
I actually lost some money on some soccer yesterday. I had Ukraine over half a goal, like halfway through the game. Dominated possession, bunch of chances, didn't score. And now they're not going to the World Cup. Wales got the honor on an own goal. That's kind of rough.
So now they're going back to the Army.
Pretty much.
That's brutal. Man, you talk about guys playing for something.
Yep.
Well, if we keep winning, we don't have to go back and fucking repel Russians. God damn it.
Wales goalie kicked my ass. They had a great opportunity on a header, like the 80-something minute, and you saw the classic one-handed Superman goal dive, and he saved the crap out of it.
Oh.
It was rough, but Ukraine had a bunch of chances that they ended up losing. So
Andrew said he had whales in that game. Said he had a hunch. Had a Wales hunch. Very good. That's an old joke, by the way. Are you from Wales? No, I'm from normal parents. So.
no.
You saw Top Gun? Want to give us a little review?
I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't give it a masterpiece grade that a lot of other people have. I award it 7.5 danger zones out of 10.
Was it better than the first one? That's the question everybody wants to ask.
Personally, no.
Okay.
The first one's timeless. I mean, you can't really beat the first one. Second one was good. It was a solid sequel. I had a couple of nitpicking issues that I can say without spoiling anything. I thought the mission that they were supposed to do was borderline impossible. It looked like it looked like a Mission Impossible movie about halfway through.
I was just going to say, you were saying Tom Cruise was on an impossible mission?
It seemed like it was a Mission Impossible type of situation. And they also tried to have a love story involved, but they didn't give you any background on the woman.
Okay.
It's like you picked it up halfway through, and I'm like, either fully commit to the love story or don't have it at all. But they half-assed it, and I'm like, I don't care enough. I don't know who this person is.
You weren't invested in. There was not enough development of that character for you to be invested.
I don't know who
in
she was. The only characteristic she had was she owned a bar. That's it. They gave you no other background. I'm like, why do I care about this thing?
Who the fuck was it? Who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck is this guy? Like, no, I didn't care, but it was a good movie. I recommend it.
James, this is you weren't even born when it came out. No, you were not.
I was not at all.
Your
But it was very solid. Val Kilmer was in it, which I thought was a nice touch.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's my ice impression. Any baseball games you like tonight? You want to give me a reason not to fade the Royals?
Because you want to fade the Royals and they always kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
By the way, Michigan came all the way back, beating Louisville now.
Really?
Yeah, came all the way back.
College baseball.
College baseball, where ball pens don't exist.
No.
Or where they exist, but they're not very good. Any other baseball games? It's a pretty light card, so no, I know we're saving one game for later.
Yep.
Let's see what I like. I guess I'm automatically tempted by Diamondback's first five because I'm just anti-Hunter Green. I just don't think he's very good.
It's hard not to be carrying an ERA north of 6.
Just saying. And I know that he's a good prospect. I'm not saying he's going to be a bust or anything. But rookie season, not great. I'm tempted by the Guardians. I like Quantrill. I think he's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And Gray is a pitcher who I know both of us don't exactly like.
Not fans.
I don't think that's going to be easy, but I'll lean to the Guardians there. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
I really don't have many thoughts on many of the games, but we have one that we like a lot.
Yep. And it's probably about time to get to that, Scott. So, yeah, let's get it rolling, guys. It's the end of the show. You guys know what that means. Even though it's Monday, you haven't forgotten. You know what the drill is. So, yeah, let's get her. Let's get her on. As what's that guy's name? Miles.
Teller?
No, the referee. Let's get it on.
Oh,
Little bald guy.
I know who you're talking about.
It's Miles.
Miles Teller, by the way, played Goose's son in the Top Gun sequel.
I'm watching The Offer right now that has Miles Teller in it. So
I think he's a good actor. I thought he was great in Whiplash.
Fucking Whiplash, one of the best.
I love that movie.
Best movies of all time. Yeah, I will watch Whiplash anytime. J.K. Simmons, outstanding. Miles Teller,
Great.
outstanding.
I don't know if he's done anything since, but a hell of an actor.
J.K. Simmons, he's in everything.
I don't think I've seen him in anything. But then again, I don't watch many superhero stuff. I know he's been somewhat involved in not just Spider-Man stuff from like 15 years ago.
I just watched the first episode of a show on Amazon with him and Sissy Spacek, where they're an old couple who go into their shed and they end up on another planet.
That's probably why I haven't seen him in a while, because he's doing Amazon stuff.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So, all right, kids, let's get it rolling. Let's find out. Do you have your props today?
No.
You're so disappointing.
I haven't gone back home. Besides, why are you
disappointed?
disappointed? We won.
I know. I saw you.
I can't mess with the with the aura.
I saw you in front of the shed, so I figured you didn't have your hat. But all right, well, I'll do it for both of us. It is time once again, everybody. Put on your overalls. It's Monday. They should be clean. Put on your overalls. Grab that straw hat. Climb aboard your John Deere. Pull the keys out, and fire that bad boy up. Because kids, once again, it is time to bet the farm. Afternoon, everybody. Scott tips his imaginary hat. By the way, Scott, somebody wanted to know about your haircut. Did you get a get a little high fade there, buddy?
I did. I got a haircut about 2 hours ago because I'm going to Belmont over the weekend, so I'm trying to not look homeless.
Very good, very good indeed. Well, you could just wear your hat. You gonna wear your John Deere hat?
I'm tempted by it, but my friend actually got fedoras, so I'm going to wear a fedora instead.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah, why not?
Of course. And you're going to wear a sport coat too, right? We talked about
Of
that?
course. Yeah.
Of course. All right.
It's Belmont, man. It's my only day to dress fancy.
I'm so fancy.
You already know.
So, Scott, we had a Bet the Farm play for Friday night, and we've been running a little cold. How did Friday night go?
We had the Guardians on the money line against the Orioles, and they won handily. Bieber gave up no hits in the first 6 innings.
How about that, kids? Cue the banjos. Yeehaw! All right, very good. 1 in a row, buddy. So,
is it 1 or is it 2?
What's that?
I don't know how many we've won in a row.
Is
it 1?
Did we hit Thursday? I thought we.
I thought we might have. I don't know.
Okay. I bet somebody.
Whatever.
I bet somebody remembers.
We've won something in a row.
So at least our streak is at least stands at 1. No question about it. All right,
it's greater than or equal to 1.
Greater than or equal to 1. Very good. So what do we got cooked up for today?
So we're going to go to baseball, looking at a matchup between the Red Sox and the Angels. And we're going to take a team total. We're going to take the Red Sox team total over 4 at -114. The Red Sox have scored at least 5 runs in each of their last 4 games. And Boston's been very good on the road. The Red Sox are averaging 5.23 runs per road game, which is the second most in the league. Plus, the Angels have allowed at least 6 runs in 7 of their last 8 games. And Syndergaard is on the mound. Last 3 starts, 11 innings pitched, 8.18 ERA. And even if he pitches well, we know the Angels' bullpen stinks. But if you're going to give me 4 for a push, 5 for a win with a Red Sox offense that's surging against a really just terrible pitching staff, we're going to take the over. 4's too low.
Very good. And if you guys watched me on the show with Chris before, you know I talked about some peripherals with Syndergaard, and they are really, really not good. Giving up a barrel rate of over 8.5%, which is like 2.5, 3.5 times what he is at when he's good.
That's a lot of barrels.
That's
a lot of barrels.
That's a lot of barrels. His velo is down, his spin rate is down, and his strikeout weight is down as well. So
other than that, though, he's fine.
He's doing great. So Anyway, that's a little behind the ERA numbers brought to you by the good folks at Caesars. Everybody. Anyway, that's our play. That's our show. It's Monday. We're gonna put a flag in this guy and call it done. You guys have a great day. As always, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate all the eyes. We appreciate all the comments. And, of course, we appreciate each and every one of you. Good luck on all your plays, guys, and we will be back here tomorrow to do it the same bat time, the same bat channel, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Scott and I will help you on that journey as we all try to head back to the window. Take care, everybody. We'll see you then.